2025 has been a very challenging year so far for many Kentucky restaurants along the Ohio River, many facing a series of setbacks with high-impact weather and repeated flooding devastating the area. This is the second major flood event Kentucky has dealt with so far this year, and you may recall a powerful winter storm back in January forced many restaurants to temporarily close. This latest round of flooding impacting Road BBQ in Louisville, and you're seeing some of the pictures of that flooded restaurant. Krissy Davis is the restaurant's general manager, and she joins us now. Krissy, thanks for being here with us on Fox Weather. We've seen the pictures. Can you tell us a little bit about how this all played out? I know it's awful that you've dealt with this now more than once this year.
Yeah, it's been agonizing to say the least. We got kicked while we were down, to be honest. We had the first flood right after we had to close for winter storms. We've actually had a lot of issues with road construction out front. So during the pretty weeks when we should have had a lot of business to help get us through all of this, business wasn't there. And then now we got up to about 9 or 10 feet of water indoors. So we're going to have to deal with the aftermath as soon as we can get in, probably on Sunday.
I know this is the worst that you've dealt with in the history of that business, and the third time, as you told us, that you've been impacted by weather. Understandably, that has to be very tough on the business and on your staff. But if there's any good in what has happened previously, it sounds like out in advance of this latest round of flooding, you guys acted fast and made some preparations. Is that gonna help you get back into the building maybe a little bit faster?
Absolutely. You know, we're old hats, at least at having to vacate the premises in a quick time frame. So, you know, we watch the graphs. We get everything out at least 24 hours before the water surrounds us. And so we just hunker down and wait it out. Having to wait is probably the most difficult part, aside from now a very massive cleanup.
Yeah, my wife is a Kentucky Wildcat. I used to live in the Commonwealth for many years over in Lexington. It's all love, though. I know the rivalry, but I know how big of a time this is for you there in Kentucky. You got the Derby coming up on May 3rd. Thunder over Louisville canceled, unfortunately. How big of a deal is that? And are you thinking that you'll get back to normal before Derby when hundreds of thousands of people head to Louisville?
Well, you know, ideally the goal is to be open by Derby. I think in our situation, it's a little more difficult because we're going to have to do so much construction and repair work. So, you know, we would love to be open by that Saturday. It does not seem like it's very likely. However, we're going to definitely work as hard as we can to get there. It is detrimental to the business, really, just because that is our bread and butter. That's the beginning of our peak season, and that's some of our busiest weeks of the year.
Yeah, I know that there's some seasonality to this, and you have to make that money when you can during these peak times. Have you thought about moving forward? I mean, this is repeated 3 times this year. What do you need in the short term to get back open? You said Sunday you're hoping to get there, so you have the short term. Will you repair things right there? Have you had any thoughts of saying we can't keep doing this at this location?
Well, I will say now we're kind of talking about getting some food trucks and mobile setup together so that we can, going forward, even if we have to close, we can still stay in business and still generate some revenue. We can still have our employees earning an income and being able to support their families. We're very, very fortunate because we do have some charitable organizations here that do help independent restaurants. We have KRA, which is the Kentucky Restaurant Association, and they do a lot to get us out into the spotlight and get the help that we can possibly get from the community. There's Apron Inc., which is also another charity. They help support, they give grants to independent restaurant employees. Mm-hmm. So they basically help the whole service industry pay their bills when they're laid. in a position where they cannot actually earn an income. So, I mean, we're very, very fortunate on
Yeah.
the whole community here. I mean, everyone bands together. I'm very hopeful that Louisville can really show a lot of support in terms of catering events and carry out and come and support all of the businesses down on River Road, because it's been a rough year for every single business down there this year.
No question. And I know how special and how resilient that community is, but this has been a little much, to be honest, with what we've dealt with so far in 2025. I hate to see it, and I really hope maybe you can beat the odds, get back open for Derby Day, and have a big summer ahead. We hope that you can get back open as soon as possible. That's the River Road BBQ manager, Krissy Davis. Thanks for talking with us here on Fox Weather.
Thank you so much.